In the heart of an ancient forest, where the trees whispered secrets of a bygone era, 5 friends embarked on a journey, seeking to escape the monotony of daily life. Their names were Alex, Brian, Clara, Denise, and Ethan. Each carried within them the light of youth and the thirst for adventure, but little did they know, as they stepped beneath the canopy of towering pines, their bond would be tested by forces beyond their comprehension. As daylight waned, a mist descended upon the forest, blurring the path back and wrapping the friends in a cloak of uncertainty. With nightfall imminent and the way lost to them, desperation set in. That was when they stumbled upon a cabin, old and abandoned, a relic hidden away from the eyes of the world. Its appearance, though eerie, offered a beacon of hope, and with little choice, they decided to stay the night. The cabin, for all its outward decay, held within it a strange warmth. A fireplace, long cold, beckoned them to reignite its flame. As the fire crackled to life, casting shadows upon the walls, the friends settled in, unaware of the silent watcher outside, a creature born from the very essence of the forest, and a guardian of its most ancient secrets. As the night deepened, so too did the sense of unease. The forest seemed alive with sounds, whispers of movement, the crack of a branch, the rustle of leaves. It was Ethan who first felt the pull, the inexplicable urge to step outside, drawn by a force he could not name. He vanished into the night, his departure unnoticed by the others until it was too late. The next morning, with Ethan missing, panic set in. Alex, Brian, Clara, and Denise searched the surrounding woods, calling out for their friend, but only silence answered. As the day turned once again to night, they realized the grim truth: the forest would not release them so easily. One by one, the forest claimed them. Brian, drawn to a distant light that vanished as he approached, Clara, entranced by a melody only she could hear, Denise, chasing the shadow of a figure that seemed always just out of reach. Each disappeared, swallowed by the forest, leaving Alex alone, the weight of survival pressing down upon him. With dawn came a realization for Alex. The forest, with its gnarled trees and whispering winds, was not just a forest but a living entity, and the cabin, its heart. The creature, a manifestation of the forest's will, sought not to harm them out of malice, but to protect the secrets it held dear. And so, Alex made a decision to confront the creature, to plead for the lives of his friends. In the depths of the forest, Alex found the creature, a being of bark and vine, its eyes deep pools of ancient wisdom. He spoke of friendship, of loss, and of the human spirit's resilience. The creature listened, and in a moment of understanding, offered Alex a choice. One life or the return of the others to the world beyond the forest. With a heavy heart, Alex chose survival, a decision that would haunt him for the rest of his days. He emerged from the forest alone, his friends a sacrifice to the guardian of secrets. The world moved on, but for Alex, the forest and the cabin remained, etched into his soul, a reminder of the price of adventure. Years passed, and life flowed like a river around the stones of Alex's memories. He tried to move on, to build a life untouched by the shadows of that night. Yet, every tree, every whisper of wind, brought him back to the cabin, to his friends, and to the choice he made. In the end, Alex realized that survival was not just about living. It was about carrying the stories of those lost, about honoring their memories and ensuring their adventures, their laughter, and their spirits lived on. And so, he wrote their tale, a testament to friendship, to adventure, and to the cost of venturing into the unknown. The forest still stands, a silent guardian of secrets, and the cabin, a haven for those brave or foolish enough to seek shelter within its walls. But for Alex, it stands as a monument to the bond between friends, a bond not even the forest could sever completely. Time skip. Alex's tale did not end with the writing of his story. Despite his efforts to move on, the forest and its secrets were not content to remain in the past. The act of sharing his experience, of bringing the hidden darkness into the light, had consequences he could never have anticipated. The forest, ancient and sentient, watched from afar, its patience as endless as the ages it had stood. The creature, a manifestation of the forest's will, had been a guardian, yes, but also a keeper of balance. Alex's revelations disturbed this balance, drawing the attention of something far more ancient and malevolent. Unbeknownst to Alex, a seed had been planted on the night of his escape, a connection between him and the forest that lay dormant until his story awakened it. This awakening called forth a beast of legend, a creature born from the heart of the forest's darkest depths. It was not like the guardian that had offered him a choice, it was a force of vengeance, a hunter of those who dared to expose the secrets it was sworn to protect. The nights following the publication of Alex's tale grew restless. Shadows lingered longer, and the wind carried whispers not of this world. Then, on a night when the moon hid its face in fear, the beast came for him. It was a creature of nightmares, its form shifting and twisting, a miasma of darkness with eyes that burned like embers in the night. Alex fought bravely, his will fortified by the memories of his friends, by the love and loss that had defined his existence since that fateful night in the forest. But the beast was relentless, a force of nature unto itself, born of vengeance and fed by the power of the ancient forest. In the end, Alex was overcome, his story ending not in the quiet of age, but in the teeth and claws of the beast. Yet, even as it tore him apart, Alex's thoughts were not of fear or regret, but of his friends, of the adventures they had shared, and of the hope that their story would serve as a warning to others. The forest reclaimed its secret that night, silencing the one voice that had dared to speak of its depths. Yet, the tale of Alex and his friends lives on, a ghost story whispered around campfires, a cautionary tale about the price of curiosity and the dangers of venturing into places where humanity was never meant to tread. And the forest, ancient and unyielding, continues its eternal watch, its secrets buried deep within, guarded by creatures that walk the line between myth and reality. But those secrets, and the memory of 5 friends who dared to uncover them, remain, a testament to the thin veil that separates our world from the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding. Time skip. The tale of Alex and his friends had become a local legend, whispered in hushed tones, and often dismissed as nothing more than a spooky story to scare the curious. Yet, its roots ran deep, touching a nerve with those who heard it, a warning from the past that the forest was a place of secrets best left undisturbed. 3 new kids, intrigued by the mystery and the thrill of the forbidden, decided to test the legend for themselves. Drawn to the allure of adventure and the pull of the unknown, they ventured into the forest, each step taking them deeper into its heart, where the veil between the natural and the supernatural grew thin. The forest, ancient and aware, sensed their intrusion, just as it had sensed Alex's revelations. But this time, it chose a different form of guardian. From the soil of the forest, where the memories of the past lay buried, the forest summoned Alex and his friends, not as they were but as twisted, zombified versions of themselves. These creatures were the embodiment of the forest's vengeance, a warning made flesh. The new kids, unaware of the true danger they faced, pressed on, their laughter and chatter, a stark contrast to the silence that began to envelop them. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows through the trees, the forest unleashed its guardians. Alex and his friends, or rather, the things that now bore their likenesses, emerged from the shadows, their eyes hollow, their movements jerky and unnatural. Gone were the vibrant personalities and the bonds of friendship that had once defined them. In their place stood only hunger and the drive to protect the forest's secrets at all costs. The encounter was swift and terrifying. The new kids, realizing too late the gravity of their mistake, tried to flee, but the forest, with its newly appointed guardians, was relentless. The chase was a macabre dance, with each step taking them further from hope and closer to despair. In the end, the forest claimed its tribute, as it had so many times before. The new kids became part of the legend, their fate a stark reminder of the price of curiosity and the power of the stories we tell. The forest's message was clear. Some secrets are meant to remain hidden, guarded by those who have already paid the ultimate price. Alex and his friends, once victims, now served as the forest's protectors, a fate intertwined with the very essence of the forest itself. And so, the legend continues, a cycle of storytelling and consequence, a cautionary tale that whispers through the trees, carried by the wind. It serves as a reminder that some places, some secrets, are beyond our understanding, protected by forces we can neither see nor comprehend, in a forest that watches, waits, and remembers. Time skip. The forest, ancient and imbued with a power far beyond the ken of mortals, had always been a keeper of balance, a guardian of the threshold between worlds. When the 3 new kids ventured into its heart, igniting a chain of events that would draw the eyes of the world to its hidden depths, the forest braced for an assault unlike any it had faced before. The father of one of the kids, a man of considerable influence and resources, refused to accept the mysterious disappearance of his child as an unsolvable tragedy. Fueled by grief and desperation, he turned to the might of the military, believing that with force, the secrets of the forest could be laid bare and his child returned to him. Thus, an army, equipped with the latest technology and weapons, entered the forest. Their mission was clear. Penetrate the heart of the forest, uncover its secrets, and retrieve the missing children. But the forest, a sentient entity that had thrived in silence and secrecy for millennia, viewed this invasion as an affront to its very essence. As the army advanced, the forest awakened its defenders. Not just the zombified forms of Alex and his friends, but deeper, more ancient creatures. Beings of myth and nightmare, forged from the earth's raw magic and the collective belief of all those who had feared the forest's depths, rose to meet the intruders. The air filled with the sound of unseen entities moving through the underbrush, the ground itself seemed to shift and sway, disorienting the soldiers and fracturing their ranks. The battle that ensued was unlike any the world had seen. It was not just a clash of man against nature, but of humanity against the very essence of the primeval world. The forest unleashed horrors that defied explanation, shapeshifters, elemental beings, and monsters that seemed to be conjured from the darkest corners of the human psyche. The soldiers fought bravely, their weapons tearing through the night, but for every creature they felled, 2 more seemed to rise. The forest, for its part, was unyielding, its wrath manifesting in thorns that pierced armor as if it were paper, vines that ensnared and strangled, and shadows that moved with a mind of their own. As the battle raged, the forest itself seemed to bleed, its pain echoing through the cries of its defenders. But it was a battle it was destined to win. The military, for all its might, could not conquer what it did not understand. One by one, the soldiers fell, until none remained. When dawn broke over the battlefield, it revealed a scene of utter devastation. The forest, though scarred, stood triumphant, its secrets preserved. The army had been wiped out, a stark reminder of the power of the natural world when roused to defend itself. The father, faced with the loss of not only his child but also the forces he had marshaled to uncover the truth, was left to confront the enormity of his miscalculation. The forest's message was clear. There are powers in this world that cannot be controlled or defeated by human hands, secrets that demand respect and fear in equal measure. The legend of the forest grew darker that day, a cautionary tale about the limits of human ambition and the price of intruding upon the sacred. The forest closed in upon itself once more, silent, watchful, and eternal, its mysteries untouched, its defenders ever vigilant. Time skip. In the aftermath of the failed ground assault, the military, driven by a mix of desperation and vengeance, resolved to take drastic measures. The forest, an entity that had withstood the ravages of time and the encroachments of man, had proven itself an adversary beyond their control. The decision was made in cold calculation. If the forest could not be subdued, then it would be obliterated. Bombs rained down from the sky, each explosion a death knell for the ancient guardians and the untold secrets they protected. Flames engulfed the trees, smoke blotted out the sun, and the earth trembled under the force of the assault. The forest, which had stood as a bastion of the natural world's mystique and power, was consumed in a conflagration of unprecedented scale. The military watched from afar, their screens and instruments monitoring the destruction. As the last flames died down and the smoke began to clear, a silence fell over the land. It was a victory, they claimed, a triumph of human will over the unknown and the untamable. But the forest was not merely a collection of trees and underbrush, it was a living, breathing entity, woven into the fabric of the earth itself. The bombs had scarred its surface, destroyed its guardians, and silenced its whispers, but deep beneath the charred soil, its heart still beat. In time, the rains came, washing away the soot and cooling the scorched earth. And with the rain, a miracle occurred. Shoots of green broke through the blackened ground, tentative at first, then with increasing vigor. Life, stubborn and indomitable, began to reclaim the wasteland. The forest, it seemed, was imbued with a resilience that defied human understanding. Its roots ran deep, tapping into sources of life that remained untainted by the fires above. New trees rose from the ashes, stronger and more vibrant than before. Flowers bloomed with colors so vivid they seemed to capture the essence of life itself. Animals, those that had fled the destruction or survived against the odds, returned, drawn by the rebirth of their home. The military's victory was hollow, a Pyrrhic achievement that underscored the futility of their endeavor. The forest, in its regeneration, became a symbol of nature's enduring strength, a testament to the cycle of destruction and rebirth that defined the natural world. Whispers returned to the air, carried on the wind that moved through the new growth, a reminder that the forest was alive, not just with the flora and fauna that called it home, but with something older, something that had survived the flames and the fury. The forest's secrets, its guardians, and perhaps even the spirits of those who had once sought its mysteries, lived on, woven into the tapestry of the new forest that rose from the ashes. Time skip. 5 years passed in a deceptive peace. Humanity, in its ever-forward march, had largely forgotten the forest's devastation, its miraculous resurgence relegated to the fringes of collective memory. The forest, however, had not forgotten. It had been healing, growing, and gathering its strength, not just to reclaim what was lost, but to assert its dominion. The forest, now a vast and interconnected consciousness spanning the globe, decided the time had come to retaliate against humanity's transgressions. It summoned creatures of myth and nightmare, beings that had slumbered in its depths, waiting for the moment to emerge. These were not just guardians of the forest, they were avatars of nature's wrath, each embodying the primal forces that humanity had sought to subdue and exploit. The onslaught began without warning. Creatures of vine and bark, of stone and shadow, poured forth from the forests, their forms as varied as nature itself. Some were titanic beings that towered over the cities, their steps causing the earth to tremble, while others were more subtle in their approach, creeping unseen into the heart of human habitats, sowing chaos and fear. Humanity fought back with all the ingenuity and determination that had allowed it to thrive. Battles raged across the globe, in skies darkened by smoke and forests illuminated by the flash of gunfire. For every creature felled, however, 2 more seemed to rise, an endless tide of nature's fury that could not be halted. As the years wore on, the conflict took its toll. Human civilization, for all its advancements, was slowly but inexorably pushed back. Cities fell silent, reclaimed by the encroaching wilderness, their skyscrapers entwined with vines and roots. The remnants of humanity, scattered and diminished, fought on, but the outcome seemed increasingly inevitable. In the end, the forest reigned supreme. It did not seek to destroy humanity utterly, but to eviscerate its dominance, to reshape the world in a balance more ancient and true. The few humans who remained were those who had learned to live in harmony with the forest, respecting its laws and heeding its mysteries. The earth was transformed, no longer a planet of cities and machines, but a living world, a testament to the power and majesty of nature. Forests, dense and vibrant, covered the land, teeming with creatures both familiar and fantastical. Humanity's reign, with all its ambition and folly, was remembered as a fleeting chapter in the greater saga of the earth. The forest, in its wisdom, did not eradicate the memory of humanity's existence. Instead, it allowed the ruins of the old world to stand as monuments to the past, overgrown and reclaimed, but not forgotten. In this new world, the forest offered a chance for renewal, for life to flourish in a myriad of forms, bound by the cycles of nature. And so, the earth entered a new era, one of balance and beauty, where the forest, supreme and benevolent, watched over all. The end of one story became the beginning of another, a tale of coexistence and respect for the intricate web of life that sustains us all.